This week on Kentucky Afield. Turkey season is in full swing, and we didn't wait long to get in the woods. We'll show you how our opening day hunt unfolded. Then, we're catching and cooking bluegill and crappie. It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Good one there. Such a pretty fish.
Beautiful.
This pond is plumb loaded with frogs.
They're everywhere in here. Yeah, this is a good fish right here. Really good fish.
Come here, girl.
Yeah, boy. That's a big rabbit.
Nice job. Yes! Yes! My first musket.
Mercy, Leo.
Yeah, look at it. It's a keeper.
Here it goes. Boom!
Wow, that happened fast.
Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. We've now entered the third weekend here in the spring turkey season in Kentucky. Hopefully, you've had a great season so far. Now let's take a look back at opening day and see how we fared. Well, turkey season's about 5 days out. This is the farm I have had a lot of experience with, killed several mature birds out here. Although this morning, first day in the woods, they threw me for a loop. They normally roosted right over here almost every single time. And today, they're a couple hundred yards that way. But got in here, got set up. There's a bird gobbling right over there right now. Got set up and got ready to go. Just kind of sat there and listened this morning. And I did hear enough birds to keep me interested. And I actually had a hen come in. She moved exactly the way that the birds normally move. That tells me that those gobblers are probably going to be doing the same thing. You see, it's a big wide open field and it's got this creek, and they move right along that creek, kind of using it for cover, and those gobblers will strut and carry on. So I wanted to get a blind as close to this little creek as I possibly could. Now my plan will be to come in and put a decoy up here on this ridge that's very visible. And hopefully, with a little bit of calling, that decoy out here, if I wait them out, I'll get one of those birds that's roosting either back here where they normally do or back there where he's at now to come out here and strut around in this field and give me a chance. So this blind gives me a location to get in under the cover of darkness and wait out right where they want to be. I'll tell you what though, there's nothing more exciting than hearing those turkeys gobble. This is that time of year that, man, you start working a bird and you get them coming your way, there's very few things that's more exciting than that. And I'm ready to get after them. Well, it's opening morning of turkey season here in Kentucky. The decoys are set about 25 or 30 yards. So today's going to be a bit of a waiting game. I've done 0 calling so far. Birds should have been coming off the roost literally 5-6 minutes ago. I've been here for about 15 minutes. Let's see what happens. Oh, hey, 2 hens right at the decoy. This little field we're on, we're at the skinny part of it, and this is where they like to cross. But it's domed, which means that when the birds come out of the field across from us, they're literally 25 yards before we can see them, so we gotta be ready at all times. And that's what just happened. They literally come straight across the field. Of course, it's 2 hens, so there's no gobbling. Hopefully, if been out here about an hour and a half. And my experience in this field is that normally the birds don't show up real early. Typically, it's after they've flown down, henned up. Then once they're finished up with that, typically when the sun hits this field, when the birds usually start showing up. Just starting to hit this edge over here. Still dark right here in front of me. So hopefully here in the next 20, 30 minutes we get a little bit of sun on here, get the bugs out, and hopefully we get a strutter. After about 3 hours of very little action, I called a little bit and I heard this hen cluck. So I called back to it, it answered me. Now this hen has come in and it's about 40 yards behind us, going ballistic. It sees the decoy. The beautiful thing about that is, now there's a gobbler about 200 yards away that's responding to her. And he's on his way, it sounds like. There he is again. Let's hope that she, not me, let's hope this hen can now call this gobbler in, close the distance. Every 2 or 3 minutes, that bird gobbles, and it's getting about 10 or 15 yards closer every time. I'm hoping that when it gets to 100 yards away, it'll be in this field. It'll be able to see these decoys, and it'll run in like on a rope. That would be super exciting. Let's see. I see his head right now. He's cruising to us. Yeah, so that bird's about 120 yards out right now. If he sees this hen, he goes in the woods. We're gonna only have a 50-50 chance. Ready? Go. What an exciting turkey hunt. I've never been lucky enough to use a hen. I'd like to go over there and shake her hand. That hen, I called the hen in, and then she called this gobbler in, and all I did was give him enough excitement to keep him out in the field where I had a chance and not up in the woods where that hen is. I tell you what, quite often when you try to compete against a real hen, you don't win. And I didn't outcall that hen. What happened is I just made myself easier. I was in between the hen and the bird, and when he saw the decoys, he decided he had to go check them out. Wow, that was awesome. Let's go check this bird out. Look at her right there. This hen right there, she sat right behind me for an hour, and I'd call and she'd call, and it was a battle of bringing that turkey in. This thing was so far away that the first 2 or 3 times that we thought we may have heard it gobble, wasn't sure it was a gobble, it was that far away. We're talking 400 yards. And I knew that if I could get that bird into this field and keep it in this field, it would make its way to my decoys. And sure enough, I think if I'd let it go another 8, 10 feet, I believe it was gonna beat the fire out of my Jake decoy. But in these blinds, you got certain windows where you can shoot, and it was getting right to the edge of my window, so I had to pull the trigger. Let's go check it out. Man, opening morning, slow as it could be for me, did see those hens, but then was able to start working this bird with the help of a live hen about 40 or 50 yards behind me. What a beautiful bird. Look how sharp these hooks are on that bird. Man, look at all the color. It's no surprise that Ben Franklin wanted this to be the American bird. I mean, it's blue, red, and white all over the head. Today, this is one of my favorite styles of hunting. Even though we had to wait them out and it wasn't running gun, getting a bird strutting and gobbling all the way, that is about as exciting as it gets. I am super excited to have this bird. Here in Kentucky, there's nothing better than hitting a pond for some panfish, except for maybe putting those fish on the grill. Today should be a lot of fun. I'm out here with my brother-in-law, Larry Rogers, and I have been hearing about this pond that he's been fishing for the last couple of years and how many crappie are in this pond. And this pond is, I don't know how many acres, I'm gonna guess 6, 7 acres. It's kind of small to have crappie in it, but you said it's got a heavy population of crappie.
Very heavy population, both black and white crappie. Last year we saw around this time of year, they really started coming up to the banks, very active. You get a few bass, some big bluegills in the mix.
I go out with biologists and they'll always tell people, hey, if you're in a pond this size, try not to have white crappie because they will take over. And you're starting to see some hints of fish being stunted a little bit. A perfect way to handle that, get a rod and reel, and let's fill a skillet. What do you think?
Let's have some fun.
Let's make it happen.
Let's go.
What we got here? Oh, that's a largemouth. A small one, but it's a largemouth. I don't believe this one, well, first off, it's not 12 inches, and second, I don't have the heart to put a knife to a largemouth.
He needs to grow up a little bit.
Yeah. Man, look at that bluegill. That's a pretty good sized bluegill. Look at that, bigger than my hand.
There's one.
What you got there?
Looks like another bluegill.
Man, look at that. We were out here trying to catch a mess of crappie, but bluegill, it doesn't get any better than that. We ended up keeping a couple of these.
There's one.
Got one?
Looks like a bluegill.
Oh my, look at that. There's no reason to not be tickled to death to come out here and catch bluegill that size.
They're hungry, that's for sure.
We're just catching bluegill and bass, and that's a great thing. But let's walk around and see if we can't locate a pocket of crappie and hopefully put a couple in the cooler.
Sounds great.
Oh, another big bluegill, look at that. Man, I'll tell you one thing. I can't believe how many bluegill we're catching just throwing these little crappie magnet jigs. And the bluegill are out there 10, 12 feet of water. Bluegill are probably a month from building their nest, but that doesn't mean that they're not hungry and ready to eat.
Another bluegill. At the same spot every time. What do we got here? What do we got here?
Wait a
We
minute.
broke the ice.
Now look what you got, a crappie.
Found one.
Now was that thing further off the bank or?
It was out there. It's probably about 15 feet off the bank. There's another one. That one's a little bit nicer. Got some size to him.
There you go. Uh-oh. You see that thing burn and drag for a second? We got a crappie here, I hope.
It's a nice one.
Black crappie. Looky there. Probably about 10 inches or so.
I could tell something was a little different when that one hit. That's a pretty fish. I tell you what, black crappie, they're so incredibly beautiful, and when they get a little bit of thickness in that back, there's nothing better to eat than that right there.
Looks like a bluegill. Nice bluegill.
Daggone.
Big boy.
That is a big one. Uh-oh, we may have a crappie. It may be a bass. Oh my gosh.
Bluegill.
I've been tricked by a bluegill, thinking it was a crappie because it was burning my drag. Tell you what, you know you got a healthy population of really big bluegill when you come out here with little swim baits that a lot of times catch white bass on or crappie fish with, and you catch a big bluegill on every cast. If it looks like we're catching fish on every cast, it's because we're catching fish on almost every cast. But that's not normally the case. We come out here, we might film all day and get 20 good bites, but here, no, it's every cast.
Looks like I got his little brother.
You sure do.
Not exactly what we're looking for, but.
Trick photography. Look at this beast. Oh my gosh. No, not really. Good one there. Larry, I'll tell you what a heck of a day.
Great day.
I mean, I don't know how many fish we caught, but we decided after catching, I don't know how many of these and throwing them back, wait a minute, my kids have been on my case for the last year about bringing home some fish to eat, and boy, we put the hammer to them.
We did. Great day out here.
Good fishing.
Thanks for having me.
Well, spring is the time of year that I catch myself bringing home a lot of fish. My kids are always on me, Dad, bring home some fresh fish. So I've tried to find new creative ways to make dishes that are healthy that my kids will really, really like. Fish is really, really good fried. Everybody knows that, but it's a little bit of work and it can be a lot of cleanup. And obviously we'd like to have more healthy options. So what I'm gonna do today is showcase a dish that really can be made, prepared the whole 9 yards and clean up in about 20 minutes. What we're gonna do today is gonna be just a fish dish over rice. And obviously, if you're gonna make this dish, you're gonna start out by doing your rice first because it's gonna take some time to boil this. You know, any type of white rice will work for this. I like jasmine or basmati rice because it really tends to hold the flavor of the fish. It's really mild and it holds that flavor very well. I'll be honest with you, my kids can't tell the difference, and for simplicity and time, I'm going the 90-second version, and we're gonna get this ready here in just a minute. But first, let's get our hands washed and get the fish seasoned, and we're gonna get them on the grill. All right, first thing we're gonna do is we're going to melt some butter. So you can use any kind of butter. I actually like the taste of this butter that's got garlic, Parmesan, and basil in it. I mean, how can you go wrong with that on fish, right? So we're gonna take some of this and we're gonna get it in a cup and melt it in the microwave. So I'm gonna put it in this coffee mug here. That'll probably be good. I'm gonna keep that spoon because I'm gonna use it again later on. Put this in the microwave for 20 seconds and we'll get ready. Now I'm gonna take my fish, I'm gonna lay them out on a pan here with some aluminum foil. And I'm gonna lay my fish out here in single layer, drizzle some of the butter over it, and I'm gonna put some seasoning on it. We're gonna keep the seasoning super simple. Probably my favorite seasoning for all types of wild game and fish is this Greek seasoning called Cavendier's. It can be found about anywhere. And then of course, this little Creole Cajun shake style seasoning. Can't go wrong with a little bit of this. So these are gonna be the main two ingredients on top of the butter that already has a little bit of garlic and Parmesan and basil in it. We're gonna put these on the grill at 425 degrees, and then we're gonna put it over a bed of rice. Kids love this dish, and it keeps all the mess outside, and really, super simple. All right, so let's lay our fish out. These are all crappie and bluegill that were recently caught. I worry about them slipping through the grill or drying out a little bit, so I like to put them on aluminum foil. Now we're gonna take this butter that we've melted in the microwave. Just gonna pour a little bit of this on it. It kind of helps it keep from sticking too. And then when this is all done, I'm gonna use a little bit of this reduced butter and mix it in with the rice. It really makes it delicious. I'm gonna wash my hands one more time. I'm gonna start off good old faithful Cavendiers. I'm gonna give it a pretty generous coat. All right, now I'm gonna come back with some of this Creole seasoning and do the same thing. Now, that is pretty much ready to go. I like a little smokiness on mine, so I use a little bit of this, which is a fishmonger. I'll put a little bit of this on a couple pieces I plan on eating. It gives just a little bit of smokiness that I think is great on fish. The grill's already hot. Let's get these on the grill for 8 to 10 minutes. Should be ready to go. Let's get these fillets out of this pan, and I'm just gonna leave the aluminum foil right on the grill. Now's the time to go, since I'm doing ready rice, pop that in the microwave and get it ready. Come back down, everything should be set and ready to go. Literally 10 minutes from the time this hits the grill, we're eating. Well, these are pretty thin fillets. It's been about 8 minutes. Let's check them out. They smell like they're getting close. Oh yeah, these are done. Let's get the heat cut off, get the fillets back on the pan, and get them up ready to serve. And there's no mess on the grill either. We've kept any frying out of the house. Kids are eating healthy. Total of 15-minute prep time. We're ready. Gonna get these bowls, put a little bit of rice on the bottom. And then from here, I'm gonna take this spoon and take just a little bit of this butter and seasoning that was on this fish. Put that here on the bottom on this rice. Mix it in real good. Now, put the fish on. All right, let's get the kids. All right, you guys ready? I don't have any veggies right now, but give it a try and tell me what you think. Well, what do you guys think?
It's good.
You like it? Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Check out this beautiful largemouth bass caught by Emily. This fish was caught in Hardin County out of a family farm pond. Nice job. Here we have 10-year-old Clay Buchanan from Ewing, Kentucky, who took his very first turkey. Nice job. Here we have 9-year-old Thomas Yates, who took his first turkey in Calvary, Kentucky. He took this bird on the opening morning. Here we have Jacob Somerville, who went hunting with his Uncle Barron. This turkey was taken in a family farm in Graves County, Kentucky. Louis Reichert, who's 5 years old, is hooked on fishing. He caught these rainbow trout all by himself. These were his first fish ever. Nice job. Check out this nice largemouth bass caught by Ashley Casto. This fish was caught at a family farm pond in Waddy, Kentucky. Nice job. Check out this beautiful picture of a nice bird taken by Abby Duvall. This turkey was taken in Muhlenberg County. Nice job. Ashlyn and Aaron Slaughter know how to have a good time, and that's to take their lab, Boss, out to Clay WMA for a pheasant hunt. Nice job. 6-year-old Jack Phillips of Breckenridge County took his first deer, a nice buck, while hunting with his dad, Dustin. Jason Hoot of Warren County took this nice bird in Richardsville. This bird was taken on the family farm during the youth season. Nice job. 13-year-old Haley of Lawrenceburg, Kentucky took her first turkey on the opening morning with her dad's 20-gauge shotgun. Nice job. Just a friendly reminder, Memorial Day is right around the corner and your boat registrations expire at the end of April. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water. Hello, I'm Chad Miles. Did you know that when you buy a fishing license, it does more than provide summertime fun?
That's nice.
It produces millions of fish that are stocked in our waterways. It constructs new opportunities for boat ramps and public access. It provides new sustainable habitats for our native fish. It creates quality fishing opportunities close to home.
Good job.
It helps protect our home waters. And it makes for a better, more beautiful bluegrass for all that live here, including you and me. The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife Resources. It's more than just a fishing license.